Hey, it's Barb, and it's a pretty gray, kind of drizzly, pretty chilly January day in Texas. And I decided instead of going outside and making this video, and I have a little cold anyway, that I would make this video for you. So you won't be able to see my smiling face this time, but I'm really excited about what I'm going to share with you. So in the past year, I've been had the opportunity to go to some workshops. I've been doing a lot of personal study, and I've deepened my knowledge about confidence. And I want to tell you where I know it's like it's not something that I believe. It's something that I know, and it's also based in research that everything begins with our horses. So I'd like you just to take a nice deep breath. I hope that this video will be very relaxing for you, give you lots of good information. So just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and just set an intention for the next 10 minutes or so. And my intention is just to be as clear and as concise and poignant, I guess, to share what I know to be true with you. And I have a favorite book. This is just kind of an aside. I have a favorite book called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And it's by a man named Charlie McKeskey. And this book is one of my go-to books because it just really speaks to your heart and to all of our hearts. And it's a story about a boy who's a little bit lost. He's a young boy, probably 12-ish in that range, maybe younger, who meets a mole, and they're on their journey, and they meet a fox, and then they meet a horse, and just what happens to them. And it's just bits of wisdom through the whole thing. And there's a quote towards the end of the book where they're all just sitting together after they've gone through all these little things, and and I think the horse says, the truth is we're all just trying to get back home. And I think that that's so true. And I just want to share that with you to kind of set the tone for this video. So when it comes to coming home with our horses, I have come to know that our strength and our joy lie in making choices that are aligned with our very personal dreams. It's like what you want, not what your neighbor wants. Your purpose, like why you do what you do with a horse or horses, and values, what's important to you as we go for what we love with a horse. Like it's your heart, and that's what you want, and it's not making somebody else happy. And that is like coming home to your heart. The challenge is that these old voices from wherever, our childhood, our culture, sometimes our friends, sometimes our mentors, wherever, most of the time from us, but we've been inputting messages for years that don't tell us the truth about what we really can do or what we can pursue, which is where our heart lies. And so if we want to stay in alignment with ourselves, met all different kinds of situations, and you know how many situations there are in the horse world, all the people giving you their advice, from family members to friends to trainers to whomever, and all kinds of stuff that happens, we have to cultivate an inner voice for ourselves that reflects our heart and coaches us in these same directions of what we love. We are the ones. Nobody else really does that for us. And I think this is so important that we are, no matter where we are in our journey, we're never starting from a place that's flawed, but from a place that's uniquely ourselves. And we are meant to flourish. I just love that. It's not like something's wrong with us and we need to fix it. It's that we're wherever we are for whatever reason, and we're meant to flourish. So there's our boy, Nick. That's a typical look. And I want you to imagine that you and your favorite horse, I want you to imagine you and your favorite horse as I share what I know to be true about confidence and going for what you love. So there are multiple ways that we cultivate confidence and courage and skill and joy in our horse lives. And I'm going to go through those with you. And the first one, and this is what we often think about if we're confident enough about how we feel about our riding or how we feel around horses or what we know about horses. And sometimes that's extensive. And sometimes we're just beginning. But no matter, I have never not been in a horse family or in the horse world. I grew up with 400 to 500 horses. But I feel like I'm just beginning to learn some things I never knew about horses. So sometimes we think we're confident or not based on what we know in this area. And those things are joyful and we need to know them. They're technical skills, they're discipline specific, there's horsemanship, there's health, there's all kinds of stuff. But it's not the only place where we develop confidence. The other place is our ability to get very focused in the present moment and kind of slow on the inside at will. This is the information that many of you are familiar with me about. I've taught it for years. It's about like on demand calmness and focus and your ability to call up your best. Fabulous information. And we don't think of that necessarily as a big source of confidence unless we're trained in it. We do know that if we're nervous, that things might fall apart. But that's kind of vague. But actually, this is a huge source of confidence. And then there's confidence with other people. And it's interesting, and I bet you might be able to relate to this, that a lot of times we might feel confident with our horses, or we might be able to get super focused, but we get bothered by other people. And so learning how to navigate that is another huge source of confidence. And as you look at this diagram, you can see how all of these 3 areas that I love to study and love to share strategies and skills with you, because every area is a skilled area. They all intersect with each other. But here's what I love. In the middle, where they all intersect, is what we call confidence within. Now, different people call this different things. Some call this inner voice. Some call this narrative. Some people call this self-esteem, self-confidence. I love to call it confidence within, and it's symbolized by a heart because it's like our ability to be authentic and true to ourselves, because as I said in the beginning, that's where our joy lies. And when you live your passion and your values and your vision, this confidence within that I'm talking about, and it's very specific, it's not just willy-nilly, is like a river that runs through everything. Decisions about your horses, uh, commitment to learning, focusing at will, and being in the present, and calmness, and then choices about your relationships, about with other people, and support. And so it's such a powerful part. That's what I was sharing with you, that how you see yourself and what you can do and what you can achieve, or what you're even willing to try, determines your next step in your path. And often we don't take the time to reflect on our current purpose, values, beliefs, visions, next steps. We just like are busy and we're going. And it's like, come on, let's go. We got to do this. But then what happens is we're just kind of like drifting in the water in a boat by ourselves. We're just, we just, what do you want to go to that trainer? Well, yeah, maybe. What do you want to show horses, or do you want a recreational, or do you want to do both? Well, I don't know. I guess I'll do that. But when you kind of step back, and it's called reflective consciousness, and get clear about these things, you won't feel like you're lost in a boat, so to speak, drifting. And then we begin to make very spontaneous and methodical decisions that are aligned. It's when we are aligned with our vision, our values, and our beliefs about what we can do or what we're willing to go for, and see what happens, what goals we have, not the goals of our neighbor, but our goals. That's when we have joy and excel. And then, so we do those things and we develop this sense, and then we have challenges. And it's amazing that during challenges, and sometimes they're little and sometimes they're huge, when we've established this home in our heart, we can find comfort, we can encourage ourselves, we can discover courage, and we can, rise again, and we can get excited all over again because we live by our passion, our values, and our beliefs. And just like horse skills and focus and presence on demand and relationships with people, they must be cultivated. So it's the same with confidence within. And it has a huge impact on our connection with our horses, because the energy that we have within ourselves is the energy that we bring to our horses. And our horses know it. They sense energy. They know, and they help us through sometimes. But it has a big piece to do with connection. So no one knows your story but you, your dreams, what matters to you, what you believe, what you've been through, what you believe about yourself now. And no matter where you find yourself now, you can write an updated story that thrills you from this point forward. And there's a path where you get connected to yourself, you deepen that connection, and you deepen that confidence. And you take steps, you go ride, you go to a clinic, you do whatever, you're with your horse. And then you learn to take what works and then look for those areas that are your next steps. They don't scare you, or you don't, that inner voice, that inner coach is not saying, I told you you couldn't do it. that inner voice is going, that's what you need to learn. And then sometimes it's really tough and things happen. Your horse gets hurt, you get hurt, something happens, and there's a setback. And it always comes back to coming home to yourself. So I have a free workshop, and it's still up for about another day. And you can go much deeper into this. There's lots of information in that. But there's a new Confidence Within course that closes at midnight on Monday, and which is tomorrow. And it's 5 weeks, and there's a new module every week but one. And we are going to have a special exercise that week. I'm implementing lots of new information, new exercises, new thoughts. We have a weekly gathering that have a special guest and more. And so I just wanted you to know about that, because you may or may not have been in the workshop series with me, but I want to explain it because I know the impact it can have on you, because everything that empowers us and therefore our horses begins when we come back home to our heart. All of these areas: confidence with horses, focus at will, and confidence with others. So, of course, I hope you'll join us. There's a button or a link you can click. You can read all about it. It's a lengthy page, or you can scroll right to it. It's an awesome course. And I promise it has the power to transform your horse life and to transform your personal life. I think it's the most powerful gift you can give yourself. So leave a message for me. Thank you for hanging out with me to the end. And my goal is to be on camera next week. So see you then. Leave a comment. Bye-bye.